Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and jocks, zebras and assorted pastries. It's Monday, April 7th, 2014, and this is Day 9 Daily number 698, where we just say, what? 700 almost? And where we learn to be a better gamer. In today's show, it's Monday. So we're not going to learn to be a better gamer. It's time to dick around in today's show. We enlisted the help of you to give the following games. Submit a game where you try to track down a hero unit and get its kill count as high as humanly possible. We're going to see the full gamut of success and failure in today's show. The more difficult the unit to get all the kills, the more excited we are to watch it. And so the games were just people literally submitting Colossus that killed off swarm hosts. And that was the game. And it was also not a ladder game, which made it even more hilarious. A rigged game to try to get into Funday Monday. But goodness, I take my dicking around very seriously, and we've elected not to showcase those people. Ugh. Owned. So we'll be doing that in just a moment. Tuesday and Thursday, we're going to be reviewing the GSL Grand Finals between Sue and Zest, a very sexy series that produced some amazing games. Wednesday, we're going to do Tempo Rogue. On next Friday, actually this Friday, we're going to beat Psychonauts because I'm in the middle of destroying the city as the hero Goggalore. And on Monday, we're going to do a special show. There's going to be no Funday Monday next week. It's going to be story time next week because we've successfully done 700 StarCraft dailies. 700. That's more dailies than I have penises. So that's a substantial number of shows, 700 of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at our introductory game in game number 1 by enabling the music and the sound. It's a weird thing to compare to. In the bottom corner, we have Valaraukar. And up in the top, we have Speedstick. Saying, "It is Mundaz." Mundaz. He is going to be the introducer of today's thingamajigger, today's Funday Monday. Valaraukar is confused, takes his name very, very seriously. Immediately building the supply depot in the main base. Immediately going for a refinery. It is Monday, thy shall behold. A Friday for me. I like the fact that Valaraukar, the Red, look, his name is Red, because this is a hard name to say. I like how Red doesn't really say, "Oh, you must be messing around," or try to get in on the joke. He's like, well, that's very unusual because it's not Friday here. And just throws that out there. And it's time for Speedstick to really figure out what he wants to do with that little piece of information. The map is going to be Polar Night. Now, players did not have to declare what their hero unit was going to be. They simply had to name him when it was appropriate. First scouting, SCV begins to head to the south side by Valaraukar. Vlimerigbur. You know, honestly, I think that one of the greatest things that you can ever do is go to a chess tournament in high school where some volunteer has to read the names of the prize winners at the end. My name is hard to mess up. It's Sean Plot. It's 2 syllables long, clean, and done. But for some reason, I don't know if this is commonplace, but there were a lot of Indian folk at the tournaments that I went to, and I think that it would be appropriate to learn how to pronounce the Indian name correctly before reading it, and it never happened because, you know, I've done live event planning. So probably what happens, they were like, "Oh my god, we gotta do the award ceremony now," and he just gets handed basically a puzzle. Where he's like, and in 9th place, Valtahad started to party. And then people just started clapping, and someone went up, and everything was done. It was one of the most exciting parts of every single chess tournament. Especially because I had a friend named Eamon, spelled like this. And it was never ever read as Eamon. I think only at the Chess Nationals when I was a freshman was it actually read properly. It was always Iaman. Iaman. Eamon would walk up, hello, I am Iaman, I claim to be he. We have Valar Aukar all the way at the far. Oh, I like that. Proc Halabar Baba Ganoush. That's right, of course. Of course, as is commonplace, there's always one Baba Ganoush at every single event. Yeah, we see Red really hiding the Stargate at the right. Gonna try to do some surprising actions, but Speedstick has this. Barracks. Hiding right by the main base. Another gateway en route. A mothership core. 16 probes diligently mining in the main base. Cloak's coming up. But for why? But for what reason? The defenses, relatively spare. SCV spots the Stargate. Doesn't really sweat it. This is the Speedstick no-sweat moment of the game. Sponsored by Coincidence. And there we see the tech lab being added on the barracks. It's a Widow Mine. Who will be the hero? You can guess the hero. The important thing right now is to guess the hero's name. Well, it's getting close and is crisis averted. Okay. And there we go. There we go. Mr. V in red beginning to gather his units together to try to assault this SCV that is really responsibly killing off this pylon. Lieutenant Hargrove will be ready on 10. Clean and easy, 8-minute nuke in the main base. How many kills will he get? How many will Lieutenant Hargrove receive? Many. 26 probes go poof. And it's gone. A mothership core as well falls. Oh, there's always the two sad probes. We get Mr. V to give a lol to depart the game. And we've learned two things. Not only have we seen the introductory game, where, Lieutenant Hargrove did a good job, got to 26. But we got to experience the eyes of a probe who's the third one on gas. Can you imagine what that's like? Where a probe's like, alright, hold on one sec. Look, I got a lighter, but I'll be right back. I just gotta go get this gas. It'll literally take like 2 seconds. It'll literally take I just have to get 5 gas, not even too much. I'll be gone for 2 seconds on my way back. I'll give you your light. Is that all cool? Cool? We're good? Alright. Step in, step out, and everyone he's ever known is dead. It takes longer for a Coke to fall out of a drink machine than it does to get 5 gas out of a geyser, and everybody's gone. I mean, the apocalyptic stories, oh my god. I can't even imagine what media is like for a probe. What are the heroes and villains in the storybooks that the probes read to their children? The heroes. He diligently mined until there was no work left to do, and he sat idly, basking in his reward, unless he had a good lieutenant who put him straight back to work in a compact train, the closest he would ever be to his fellow probes, all of which moved through each other efficiently during a workday. But there was always the idle probe. Daddy, I don't want to grow up and be an idle probe. Don't worry, son. All you have to do is wait for that right click from the hand of God. And if it's on a mineral patch, you'll have everything you need, your destiny decided for you. But one day, every story has to have a conflict. One day, a brand new probe, he'd only mined 100 minerals during his entire life. There were veterans who had mined up to 120, built 13 seconds, long and long before he ever existed. And the new one says, What's that flying heel bus in the sky? And the elderly, experienced veteran probe says, Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Our fate isn't up to us because we're controlled by someone in Gold League. Dun-na-ba-da! I went there. How tragic is that? I mean, you think that Oedipus was upset at the gods? Think about the probes being upset when Blue Flame Hellions fall down. Oh, the brutality. Oh my god, 4 in gas? Wait, isn't it 4 in gas? And suddenly Sean cuts his story short because he made a mental typo. But that's okay, we're just rolling with it. Really? Is it 4 gas for you? Well, it's 5 for me because I'm a fucking cheater. Yeah, I mean, seriously, like, the gods, Zeus and Firthocles. I don't know that many god names. I know Zeus. You know the Greek gods, Zeus and Thermithian and Erup. Praying to them, nothing compared to the poor probes of our red player who pray to the god Valaraukar, and everything's gone. I don't know, we are on a crazy tangent right now. I'm going to open up the second game, which is really a story of submissions. Here we go. We're going to open up... You heard me say that you would get a higher chance of submission if the unit was harder to achieve kills with. And we see something just like that. We see at the top corner, well, it's Fa-Q. And we see down on the bottom side, it's Fizz. Saying, Marine, oops, didn't mean to say that at all. 6 Colossus. Wow. Fa-Q. A man with a huge nose, trying to be sly and insulting in the north. I bet Fa-Q's nose is unparalleled in all creation. He doesn't even have to go base jumping. He can just jump off the mountain and float safely down with his giant sail-like nostrils. Fizz opens up with a really compelling 7 depot, 7 barracks. Will he get extra SCVs? We just don't know. We don't know what Fizz's plans is. Once upon a time, the little SCV was tucking his daughter into bed, telling the story. Well, we were always taught that a good worker went back and forth until they died, or until the game mysteriously ended and the fate of everyone who was there was undetermined. But every now and again, the most brave and bold among us would be selected to all in. And the kids go, ooh, I want to grow up and go all in, Daddy. Goodness, no, of course you don't. Only a true brave warrior. Only someone who has the most muscular of drills. Or the most lobotomized of brains would ever want to go all in as an SCV. And we see Fa-Q going, oh my god, I'm getting all in. The train enters. It looks like they're about to become evened in barracks count. Maybe. Oh, he's actually shooting at the barracks. Alright, but this Marine is gonna eat it. Fizz is trying to get as many kills, it appears, on this Marine as humanly possible. He's gonna step to 1. Meanwhile, at the top side, we have a pack of SCVs versus a pack of SCVs. And a Marine trying to rack up as many kills as possible. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, wait, if I can gently zoom in. Ah, yes. Perfect, it's at 4. This is some good micro. And suddenly our red player, Fa-Q, might be facing what many players wish at all points in time. To have a lot to a little. I mean, if we open up this tab, it's mostly red. And 10. Will it get 11? And then he's out. So let's go through the mind of Fizz. At the start of the game, Fizz enthusiastically types, Marine, oops, didn't mean to say that at all. And there was no answer. The echo of his prior statement reverberating silently in the room. A crippling echo. An echo of a man who no one is listening to. And he builds up a single Marine, pulls all his SCVs, his pupils dilate. Heavy breathing begins. His nipples are hard. I don't know why I included that detail, but it's absolutely what we all saw. He 1As, gets 11 kills, and he goes, done! Submitted to day 9! Woo! Check out this, baby. Ooh, the hero's story. The hero who valiantly said, we don't need any income. Just everyone stop what you're doing. We're gonna esports. And the SCVs are like, yeah! And then they charged in, and as the Marine's dying, he's like, worth it, and then falls apart. So these are some of the submissions that we got today. These are some of the submissions that we received. Went from awesome to creepy to awesome. Totally get it. So we've gotten a chance to see some attempts for the hero unit to on the constraint, to focus more on the idea of getting the most number of kills. But what happens when you're in need of a real hero? We got a game from Eon Blue, who's level 105, and that doesn't even include his Paragon levels. We have Arcade himself in the top left. We have from Team Eon Blue, it's Eon Blue, following the footsteps of Team Grubby. Collecting up the usual money. The map is going to be Habitation Station. And the probes for Eon Blue get told the terrifying bedtime story. The commander will always take care of us. He would never let a threat reach us because we are the core of any victory. The economy. Ooh. They've heard many such comments. They were trained as youth to value themselves because they were part of macro, the most holy of gameplay elements. Micro always comes after macro, they said to the cursor, whom they never let play with them on the school grounds. The wee little probes of Eon Blue encountered a creative strategy that we never see. A refinery steal. Ooh. Eon Blue scouting, pretty much what he expects. A journeying reconnaissance probe selected among all the other probes. I wonder what he's doing. Well, I really don't. I enjoy going back and forth. Probes mining 5 gas at a time, literally. Literally 5 gas at a time. Let's see how this refinery block goes. Uh-oh, it's all a ploy. Uh-oh, factory at the backside. A single stalker to head out. Will Eon Blue see it? Single stalker to head to the front, and oh, he sees it. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll just kill this. So things going pretty well for Eon Blue. Suddenly, Arcade has to abandon ship, has to go for mass marine, mass barracks. The 2 supply depot wall off is really not going to be enough to help him out in any single way. Chrono Boost to take it out seems reasonable. No reason not to. 2 stalkers decide to begin pushing at the front. It seems like a pretty comfortable game. Arcade seems to be. You know, he's probably going to lose this depot. He's got plenty of Marines at the front, but dude, Eon Blue, he's a master of the micros. He's gotten up his Nexi. He's getting up his gas. He's pounding out the stalkers. So many more will join into this. Is Warp Gate done? You bet your ass. Eon Blue has a plan. A plan that's going to be very hard for us to even see unfolding at this early hour. Eon Blue. Stepping up. Picking off Marines. There's almost more Stalkers than there are Marines, but this Stargate. A premonition, a foreshadowing element, something wicked. Tries to micro his Stalkers by walking them at the Marines. It happens. Running back and forth, kiting as we call it. And suddenly Arcade is going to be faced with an Oracle. But not just any Oracle. An Aurier transition... An Aurier? An Aurier. Now, there's some words that are okay to combine together. Like Oracle and Carrier. To get Aurier. He's going Auriers. That's going to be just fine. It's like when you can't decide between stomach and tummy, so you say stummy. Fleet Beacon en route. Uh-oh. And there's one phrase that you must know. Ihan timing. It means this one timing. This one moment. Ihan timing! Eon Blue steps in as Arcade steps out. And all of a sudden, Arcade's SCVs remember the bedtime story they heard long ago. I want to grow up and go all in. In the unit count, we see 12 Marines, 2 Marauders, a Medevac, another Medevac. Many SCVs, more Marines and Marauders, and at the front, we have some Zealots and some Stalkers and a Nexus and a Mothership Core, but the Mothership Core has only 65 energy. What on earth's an Eon Blue to do? I'll tell you once we get to part 2.